Hey guys, what's up? Just gonna do some fantasy booking here. I'm gonna tell you how I would book WrestleMania 30. Obviously, this is the potential to be an excellent WrestleMania. And first and foremost, I'd like to say I would use this WrestleMania as a chance to put over young talent. And as far as I'm concerned, this should be the objective of any WrestleMania, to get future stars over in front of casual fans who will buy the pay-per-view. That's not to say you can't have big blow-off matches between two old stars. That's completely acceptable, especially if it's going to bring in buy rates. I'm damn cool with that, but ultimately at the end of the day, I think that the point of WrestleMania should be to get young talent over, and a lot of that will be happening in my version of WrestleMania 30. First off, if there is not time for it on the actual main card, I would have this match as a pre-show, and I would have Jack Swagger versus Cesaro. I like this match. I don't know whether they're booking it really that well. It's still a month away, so who knows if they'll surprise us with something new. But I like this. I hope Zeb Coulter joins, Swagger, and they go after Cesaro and they turn Cesaro face. Obviously, Cesaro has to go over in this match. I don't really see Cesaro as like a main event champion or anything like that, but he's the kind of guy who would make a great foe for pretty much anyone. Sort of a kind of Mick Foley type. You know, he's the guy who makes other people look better, and he looks like a badass. And maybe in the future he'll get really over, and then maybe you could chuck the WWE title on him. But as far as I'm concerned, Cesaro is just a good guy for making other people look good, which is by no means a bad thing to be in wrestling. So I like Cesaro a lot, and I hope he wins this match against Swagger. If they have time for it, put it on the main card. If not, put it pre-show. If it is on the pre-card, I think you open up WrestleMania, of course, with America the Beautiful. I think that's the song they sing. Whatever song they do sing, I always enjoy it. It makes me feel like I'm watching WrestleMania when I hear that song, so hopefully they'll have some cool celebrity doing that. Then when we kick off the show, we have Hulk Hogan come out, obviously, as he's the presenter or whatever the hell you want to call it. Hopefully he keeps it short and sweet. They show some vignettes from previous WrestleManias. Don't draw it out too long like The Rock did at WrestleMania 27. That was actually quite painful to watch. Just 15 minutes of The Rock soaking up fucking the crowd not very well, and I think the same thing would happen to Hogan. So hopefully you keep this short and sweet, and then we get straight into the show. First match of the night, in my opinion, should be, it doesn't have to be, but I think it should be Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. First of all, the first match of the night should be one that will get the crowd going apeshit. This is when they're going to be at their most energetic. I think if you open with Daniel Bryan, he will probably get the biggest, loudest yes chance of the night. If this match is later on in the card, you run the risk of the crowd being tired out, a bit burnt out. If you have this straight away, the crowd will go absolutely fucking apeshit for Daniel Bryan, which is exactly what you want. Also, it gives a good storyline angle opportunity, considering this is the first match of the night. We all know what the last match of the night is, and of course Daniel Bryan goes over in this match. But how you do it, in my opinion, is you have this match kick off the show, maybe 10-15 minutes of good back and forth wrestling. Have Triple H beat the fuck out of Daniel Bryan a little bit, not too much. Have Daniel Bryan still give him a bit of shit, but kind of make Daniel Bryan look like the weaker guy, just to get the fans on his side. Then what you do, hopefully after a few weeks of doing this on Monday Night Raw, you kind of have a little bit of a Evolution reunion on the shows before WrestleMania. Kind of all three of them talking about how they dislike Daniel Bryan, how they hate his guts, blah blah blah. Then 15 minutes into this match, I would have probably booked this match to be a no disqualification match. You know, Triple H just says, I make the rules, this is a no disqualification match, some shit like that. 10-15 minutes in, you have a run-in from Orton and Batista. Maybe it fucks up and then Daniel Bryan gets the running knee on Triple H and goes for a cool pin. Maybe you have just Daniel Bryan win the match clean and then have a run-in from Orton and Batista. Either way, I think you have a run-in from Orton and Batista, and basically the three of them, after or before Daniel Bryan wins the match, beat the absolute shit out of him. and basically have him taken out on a stretcher or some bullshit like that. Basically try and make it look like Daniel Bryan's not going to be able to make it to the main event or some bullshit like that. And yeah, it could be quite cool to see Orton and Batista fail to knock Bryan out before the match is even over. So there's many of potential angles for this, but I think the goal of this match should be to make Daniel Bryan look like a credible challenger, and also make the fans think, shit, maybe Daniel Bryan won't win the belt at the end of the night, so you have him taken off in a stretcher and carted off to hospital or some bullshit like that. Anyway, after that match, I think you should have the 30-man Battle Royale, the Andre the Giant Memorial thing. What I would do for this match is I would either have just 30 current roster guys going out of it, you know, so they all get their wrestle moment, which would be nice. But what I think might be even more entertaining and even more in keeping with the WrestleMania 30 kind of memorial of all the past WrestleManias, what you do is you maybe have 10, 15 stars, it's probably 10 stars from the past, previous wrestlers, and I have a list here of some wrestlers I'd love to see in this match. You know, you just top 10 out of 30 wrestlers from the past, you know, hardly any of the wrestlers are going to win anyway, so you might as well have a bit of old talent fodder. Maybe you have somebody like Roddy Piper come out, Steamboat, Ted DiBiase, maybe Jake the Snake Roberts if he can get in the ring, Sergeant Slaughter, Terry Funk, that'd be fucking old school, he was at WrestleMania 2, Jim Duggan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Honky Tonk Man, Virgil, because Virgil's a bit of an internet sensation. Check out Virgil online, you'll find some funny shit about how he tries to get autographs, people to pay him money for his autographs, blah blah blah. Check out Virgil online, fucking hilarious. I'd like to see him in that match. Maybe Diesel as well, and Bob Backlund. Just 10 stars from the past to chuck in that match, just for shits and giggles. Give them their little intro music, people will pop out, and it'll be a lovely bit of nostalgia. Either which way, I would have a few potential winners of this match. I think the most obvious would be Biggie Langston. I'm not sure if he's already... I think he actually did just announce on the last Raw that he'd be in it, which is a shame because I actually would put him in a match after this, and I'm going to... in my dream WrestleMania card, I actually do have a Biggie Langston match. So in my dream WrestleMania card, he's not in the 30-man Battle Royale, and I'll get onto the match he's in a second. But in that 30-man Battle Royale, if Biggie Langston is in it, he wins it, no doubt about it. If he's not in it, I have a few potential winners. Maybe Dolph Ziggler. I know people are like, oh, fuck Dolph Ziggler, internet fan, blah, 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 all this bullshit. But as far as I'm concerned, the fans still absolutely love him. This guy was the World Heavyweight Champion last year. You know what, he wouldn't exactly be an uncredible winner of it. So maybe you want to do it, get a massive pop, give Ziggler a bit of credibility again, because, come on, he's still an awesome wrestler. Maybe him winning it would be quite cool, massive pop again. Maybe you have somebody like from NXT come up in that match. Maybe you have somebody like Bo Dallas win, even though everyone hates him. I see him as a potential future kind of parody of John Cena, trying to get everyone to like him, but everyone boos him. So him winning this match would kind of set up the stance that everything is being fed to him, like John Cena had everything put on a plate for him. Maybe this would be a good way to get Bo Dallas into that way of having shit handed to him, with him winning this big WrestleMania match. That might be interesting. Maybe you have Alexander Rusev win that match. That, if it's not Biggie Langston, he would probably be the most credible winner of it. It would probably get him over. Maybe Ryback. I know Ryback's been buried so fucking much, which I think is a big shame and a waste. You know, this guy was in title matches and shit with Cena last year, and now he's doing fuck all. Maybe if he wins this match, it would bring some credibility back to him, and maybe you could actually use him, because he is a talent as far as I'm concerned. Maybe Del Rio. I think Del Rio is fucking over, but if the WWE is not going to give up on him, they should have him win a match like that. Frankly, if the WWE are never going to push him to the top or make him a credible top guy again, they should just get rid of him right fucking now, as far as I'm concerned. But Del Rio could be a good one. The main reason I've named some of these people is because I think that this match should be a way of making a talent look more credible, and be a big WrestleMania win having this match. So as a result of that, there's one person who I think probably will win it, and I fucking hope does not win it, and that is the Big Show. I really fucking hope they do not do some bullshit where it's like, oh, the Big Show is like, Andre the Giant's son or all that WCW wank, and they basically try and have him win it. That would be ridiculous, just giving that moment to someone as over the hill as the Big Show. So I really fucking hope that they do not have him win that match. And actually, I just recently thought of something kind of funny in the last few seconds. That actually Triple H and Daniel Bryan, one of the reasons why it should be the first match, it would be a good way, it would be quite similar to Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. You know, some people might argue that Triple H and Daniel Bryan should be later in the card. I don't think so. I think it would be a great way to open the WrestleMania up, quite similar to Bret Hart and Owen Hart did at WrestleMania 10. So blah blah blah. Back to the card. I would have Biggie Langston in a match for the Intercontinental title versus Mark Henry. I think this would be a pretty damn awesome match. Obviously, you know, you're going to say the obvious thing, they're two black guys, big black guys, that's why it would make more sense. It doesn't necessarily have to be about that. You just got two massive motherfuckers going at it, and I do see similarities between the two. And I actually really hope Biggie Langston becomes more of a badass. Right now, he's kind of coming across as like the Black John Cena, the kind of corny, cheesy guy, the corporate dude who the WWE just hand shit to on a plate. Like that whole Cena has ruined a hell of a lot of that kind of top guy getting a good push thing. You know, now when people see guys getting pushed quickly, they resent it. Whereas back in the day with somebody like Goldberg, it used to work like amazingly. But thanks to John fucking Cena, that shit doesn't work anymore. So I hope they don't screw Biggie Langston up a bit by making him kind of come across as like the Black John Cena, because personally I think Biggie Langston should be a bit like Mark Henry to the extent that he's a bit of a badass and he'll fuck you up. He doesn't necessarily have to be a heel to do that, you know. You can be a face and still a badass motherfucker, a bit like Roman Reigns, for example. But yeah, you have Biggie Langston versus Mark Henry in an awesome match, and the reason why I have this match is to get Biggie Langston over as a face, which will be quite hard to do going up against Mark Henry because he's very over as a face, Mark Henry, very respected. The reason I have this match, and hear me out, you might think that I'm absolutely crazy, but what I would like to do just before the match, and you're going to think I'm crazy, is have a Justin Bieber concert. I know you think I'm fucking crazy, but what I would love to see happen, so you have Justin Bieber and his like homeboys or all that bullshit come out to the ring. He starts singing like Baby, you know, baby, baby, baby. He does that fucking annoying song. Everyone's booing the shit out of him. You just give Justin Bieber like $1 million to do this one thing, you know, one night work, $1 million. You get him to do that. Maybe we'll get some casual fans, and who the fuck knows. You get him to do that, sing that annoying as shit song, have the crowd boo, and just in the middle of the song, you have Biggie Langston's music go off, and he comes out, and like Bieber's like all pissed off, like, what the fuck, man? Biggie Langston comes to the ring, stares at him, says, get out. And Bieber, because he thinks he's a fucking badass, he's going to go up to Biggie Langston and mouth him off a little bit, because Bieber likes to think he's a bit of a gangster, right? Which is laughable. He mouths off to Biggie Langston. All of a sudden, Biggie Langston grabs him and he does his finisher on him. I can't remember what it's called, but he basically does his finisher and he fucks Justin Bieber up. And the crowd would go fucking apeshit for Biggie Langston. And right there and then, you not only get something that people will go all over the internet the next day, viral. Everybody will be checking out Justin Bieber getting his ass handed to him by Biggie Langston. So it'd be great for mainstream attention. But it would also get Biggie Langston so goddamn over. So if Justin Bieber also wants to prove he's a cool guy, he'd do something like this. Because I'd actually respect Justin Bieber if he did something like this. So I think this would be such a cool thing to do. Have Justin Bieber come out. Any wrestler could really do it. But he comes out, does an annoying concert, and some wrestler comes out and fucks him up and gets over like shit. So that would be freaking awesome. So I'd love to see something like that. And it would be quite similar to Kane at WrestleMania 14 when he tombstoned Pete Rose. Good way of getting people over. So yeah, Biggie Langston obviously beats Mark Henry. That'd be a fucking cool match. I'd be well up for seeing that. Again, if that doesn't happen, you chuck both of them in the 30-man Battle Royale and you have Biggie Langston win. After that match, You have John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. This would be a good mid-card match. Fuck Cena being any higher up. I hate Cena, obviously. Bray Wyatt is over as shit. I quite frankly see him as the new Undertaker. You know, it is definitely too early to say it, but his gimmick is very similar, and the entrances are actually quite similar too. You know, very, very unique. You know, very niche. You know, it's dark and eerie. You know, like with the lantern and everything. It's pretty damn similar to the Undertaker, in my opinion. And I think Bray Wyatt is fantastic. I really hope he keeps his momentum, and maybe in 2 years' time he's a credible WWE champion. Maybe you have him go up against Undertaker in WrestleMania. Maybe you have him end the streak. And in fact, I'm not even shitting you. If Bray Wyatt, and it is way too early to say, if Bray Wyatt does manage to keep his momentum up and become a credible champion, I think he should end the streak, because I think the Undertaker might agree with this. Wrestling is fake, okay? And I hate using that word fake, but it's a fucking fake streak. It doesn't mean shit, okay? Obviously, it means something, no doubt about it, but it's not real. So why waste something that isn't real? If he retires undefeated, you waste a good opportunity to get a young talent over. And I think Undertaker is humble enough to understand that. I don't think he's the kind of guy with an ego. He wouldn't be like Ric Flair, who would... I imagine Ric Flair wants to keep the world record of titles. You know, he would probably be upset at losing that. I don't think the Undertaker gives two shits about losing the streak. So, if you have Bray Wyatt looking good in 2 years' time, as a real, because Bray Wyatt's only like 26 or something, he's so young. If he's looking good in 2 years' time, I say you have him fucking beat the streak at WrestleMania, and that'll cement him as the new Undertaker. You know, because I really see so much potential in Bray Wyatt. I think he's fantastic, and he's a pretty damn good wrestler too. So unique. And obviously you have him fucking beat John the Cunt Cena. I mean, the thought of Cena winning this match would be outrageous. I actually don't think the WWE is stupid enough to do it. Like I've said on previous videos, John Cena is over. He, as a face at least, is over at the top. The reason why Cena is fucked now, whereas maybe 2 years ago he could just about handle it. John Cena cannot play the face in any match, because no matter who you put him up against, he gets booed, and the heel gets a face reaction. So if you're booking wrestling matches, you're going to be like, well, look, how can we do anything with this guy if he's not getting the reaction that we want? So, you know, and this is a perfect example of it. I know for a fact Bray Wyatt will be cheered as the face and John Cena will be booed. So they have to fucking realise that Cena's time as a face is over. You know, so you have Bray Wyatt win that match, no question about it. You make Bray Wyatt look good. And Cena, you know, just like Hulk Hogan in 1995, no one gives a shit. Cena turns heel, then he can go back to the top. And I think Cena, as much as I hate him, I don't think he's talentless. I think he can work a good match. And even though I despise promos, every time he comes on the WWE and he starts shouting, WWE, ah! It makes me cringe because it's so phony and bullshit. I hate those promos, but I think he's got a good heel promo in him, saying shit like, yeah, I give my heart to you, I go on 100 Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you boo me, so fuck you! You know, if he did something like that, that would be epic, and then Cena would just be over as a motherfucker, as a bad guy. As a face, he is fucking done. So please, Bray Wyatt, kick his ass, and John Cena, if you want to be relevant again, turn fucking heel. After that match, you have the Hall of Fame, introduce the people in, that's all good fun. I miss the old music. I can't remember how it used to be, like, yeah. I used to love that music. It was so terrible and cheesy, and now they've, like, you know, replaced it with like, which is nice, but I much preferred the annoying one of the old days. So Hall of Fame's always good fun and always a good way to break up the show. After that match, after that presentation, you have the Shield triple threat breakup match for the US title. I like what they're doing with the Shield at the moment. It's not cliche. As yet, this is a month before WrestleMania 30 has happened, as of yet, they're keeping it cool. They haven't broken up. I like the way they're going about it. It's not just a stupid breakup. I think that they should position maybe someone like Seth. I don't think they should make Roman Reigns the out-and-out babyface. I think Roman Reigns is cool because he's a bad guy. I think as soon as you make him too cheesy and facey, the John Cena effect will happen. Like I said earlier, John Cena has ruined strong pushes for every wrestler. That's why when Ryback was winning in squash matches and Brodus Clay was winning in squash matches, we were like, what the fuck? You know, that he's just getting the Cena treatment. Unlike 15 years ago whenever Goldberg did it, then it was cool. That shit doesn't work anymore. So I really hope they don't make Roman Reigns like Biggie Langston too in your face and all that kind of shit. So I hope Roman Reigns is kind of made out to be of a bit of a badass face. I think Rollins should be positioned as a face. He's versatile. He can do the heel thing, but his moveset is just way too face. You know, when he's flying out of the ring, running around, people love that. That's why people love Daniel Bryan, because he's just so athletic and he can move around so fast. That's not what heels do. So I hope Rollins is positioned as the face. Reigns as the kind of shadowy character, and then obviously Ambrose as the bad guy. I really hope they make it all quite an equal match. I don't want to see Reigns just beat the fuck out of everyone. I want that match to be really, people think that all three of them could win. Obviously we know Reigns will go over. He should go over because he's got a big future ahead of him. But I really hope they make it, I hope I go into it thinking maybe they might let Rollins win it. I don't think Ambrose will. I'd love to think that maybe Rollins might do it, and maybe he could, but he won't, obviously. It will be Reigns, but I hope it's an even match, and it will be a good match. I also hope what they do is they all come out in their new ring attire and have new theme music for each of them. I don't think they'll all come out wearing the same clothes and wearing, coming out of the crowd as usual. I think it would be a good idea to kind of set them up as singles wrestlers. So have them all come out in their different attire and all of that. I'd like to see, I don't want to be a fashion designer, I'm just going to be a little fashion designer for the moment. Okay? I think you should have, like, Roman Reigns come out of, like, white trunks, maybe white knee pads, something like that. Have a cool look for him. I put Rollins maybe in just some like black underpants, tights, whatever you call them. Black knee pads, blah blah blah. And I actually would keep Dean Ambrose looking pretty similar. I think that kind of vest looks cool on him. So I'd be fascinated to see what they look like, what their music sounds like if they do that, which I think they should. And that will be an awesome match. Looking forward to that. Next, obviously, Undertaker Brock. I'm not gonna lie, I don't give a shit about this match because Brock Lesnar is no way beating the Undertaker. Undertaker and him, they don't like each other in real life. I hear. Obviously, I had like a confrontation after a UFC match a few years ago. I'd like to. They're not actually booking this very well because. I mean, it's dumb because for a start, Brock Lesnar in real life would kick the absolute shit out of the Undertaker. Because Brock Lesnar probably kicked the shit out of absolutely anybody. But at least when it's like someone in their 30s, like Cena or Punk or maybe Daniel Bryan or Big Show, at least they could still go because they're young. But Undertaker's way too old and slow. So in a way, it's not a believable match. It's not believable. It's kind of fucked up actually when you think about it. It's not believable Undertaker beating Brock because Brock would really in real life kick the shit out of him, and it's not believable that Brock's going to beat Undertaker because there's no way he's going to end the streak. So in a way, unless this match is entertaining, it's kind of very flawed, unfortunately, and really they should make it more kind of make it more personal. Talk about the UFC encounter, make it more of a personal match. Right now, as it stands, just as a plain WrestleMania match for the streak, it doesn't work as far as I'm concerned, but I'm sure it'll be a good match. But it's not what I'm looking forward to, unfortunately. Next, to break up the main event and this match, we do not want the same shit that happened last year where even though obviously no one gave a fuck about Rock Cena anyway, the fans were probably quite tired out because you had 3 main event matches in a row. To break up those 2 matches, the main event and the Undertaker match, I think you have a tag team title match. You either go with the Usos versus the Wyatts, Obviously Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. I think that would be a fucking cool match. Make it really look like the Wyatts are going to win it though, and look like badasses, and obviously have the Usos go over, because I think the Usos are the future of tag team wrestling in the WWE. And of course, what's great about the Usos is they're a tag team. They're not two individual wrestlers together, and that's what I like about them. And the WWE should definitely try and have more of those. Tag teams, and don't just always have the intention of breaking them up. I miss the old days of the Dudleys, for example. You knew the Dudleys were going to stay together, and that was what was cool about them. If you don't have Usos versus the Wyatts, maybe you have a fatal four-way elimination match, or just a one pinfall match between the Usos, the Wyatts, the New Age Outlaws, and the Rhodes Brothers. All four obviously being in contention for the tag team titles recently. That would be a very cool match. I would have liked to have seen Goldust versus Cody Rhodes, but I don't think they're going to go that way. If there was, for example, room for that match on the card, I'd like to see Rhodes versus Goldust, but they're not going to go there, unfortunately. So I'd like to see them in this match if they're not in the Battle Royale. But have this match, break up the two main events, and boom, we get to the main event, the big one. And this is how I would do it. I would pretty much have, perhaps through the course of the show, updates on Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's in the local hospital. He's not being cleared to match. Yeah, you have like him. Yeah, throughout the show, you have a scene of him getting into an ambulance. Then you have one of him in the hospital. Then you have like Triple H saying, he's not being cleared to wrestle, and everyone booing and all that bullshit. Then you have like Batista and Orton coming out, and then it's like maybe Daniel Bryan's music comes on, maybe not. And basically no one comes out. Actually, don't have Daniel Bryan's music come on. You basically have the two guys in the ring waiting for him, and the referee's like, Daniel Bryan has 10 seconds to come, and they count down, and no one's there, and everyone's like booing, and then the bell rings, and then you basically have these two go on for like 5 to 10 minutes having an awful match, like purposely make it shit, like do a bunch of like wrist locks and sleeper holds, just make it a really crap match, and just the result of that would be then you'd basically capitalize on all this fan movement that we've had recently, which to the WWE's credit have really capitalized on, really getting this whole Hijack Raw shit, Occupy Raw bullcrap on the show. The Yes movement. You have these two go at it just doing nothing for 5 minutes, and you have Hijack WrestleMania, and you have the crowd hijack that match, and it would just be iconic. It would like be a throwback to the whole year, like. It's true what they say, the WWE are so bad at booking shit, they fuck everything up. It is possible that they do something like kind of magic this WrestleMania, and to the Raw I just watched with all the fans in the crowd, doing the Yes movement shit, they really have something here, and I'd love it if they just like capitalized on that and had these two go at it for 5-10 minutes with the crowd just shitting all over it, and then all of a sudden you either have Daniel Bryan's music come on, or you have like like Austin would do in like the fucking like giant monster truck or whatever. You see like a car driving in. Yeah, you have like an ambulance there. This is how you do it. You have an ambulance like driving fastly into the building, and then you have the ambulance like come down the ramp, and then out comes Daniel Bryan, and he's like holding his injured arm or something, and like everyone's going yes, yes, yes. Everyone's going fucking apeshit, and then he gets into the match and he starts kicking people and fucking flying around like a motherfucker. And then, everyone goes fucking awesome. Then you have Evolution, Batista and all. And then after he comes back, kicks everyone else. Then you have those two beat the shit out of him for a little bit. Basically gang up on him. And then obviously what happens then is they, one of them tries to pin him, and then they start fighting, the usual triple threat match bullshit. Then then you have maybe 5-10 minutes of just good flat out, wrestling between the three of them. Then you have some finishers, all that bullshit. Maybe how I'd end the show, I don't know. You'd have it look like, obviously, like Bryan's never going to win it. You've got to make it look as much as possible that Bryan's not going to win the match. because obviously he should do at the end of it. Well, that would be fucking retarded if they didn't. But yeah, you make it look like he's gonna lose. Maybe in the end of the match you have like Daniel Bryan fucking do the flying knee on Batista. Bryan then goes for the pin, but as it's like 1, 2, Orton tries to like jump on Bryan and elbow him, and then Daniel Bryan jumps out of the way just as Orton tries to break the pin. Orton then lands at Batista, fucking hurting him, or Batista rolls out of the ring. Then you have Daniel Bryan grab him and put the yes lock on him, and then you basically have Daniel Bryan. Because him and Orton have been wrestling at each other for months now, you have him get Orton to tap out, protecting Batista, tap out in the main event of WrestleMania. The crowd will go fucking crazy. You then have... also, this would be quite ironic because this would be 10 years after Chris Benoit won a triple threat match to the Crippler Crossface, and everyone went apeshit. Ooh, very eerie. It would be quite cool if they did that. Then you have, obviously, after that, everyone goes, yes, 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 and everyone goes fucking apeshit. Fireworks go off, all this bollocks. Then, a bit similar to WrestleMania 10, you have all the faces come out from the back, and then go into the ring, put Daniel Bryan on his shoulders, everyone going yes, yes, all the crowd going yes, all the wrestlers going yes, and you have his music come out, and everyone's fucking happy, and he's lifting the 2 belts up in his hand, and WrestleMania 30 is a resounding success. Everyone's glad they bought the WWE Network. Everyone's thinking, great, I can't wait for the next pay-per-view. Oh, the WWE, they had us fooled. We were all thinking how shit the company was after Royal Rumble. But, oh, they played us well, didn't they? They fucking got us. And it would be a resounding success for the WWE. So, even though I don't think for a fucking second they planned this out in the long term, I really do think they wanted Batista to win it. But if they do all this shit, A, it makes them look like they're smart and they know they're good booking, and B, makes it look like they listen to the fans, which is good customer fucking PR, for Christ's sakes, WWE. You gotta stop shitting all over your fan base, and if you give them what they want, everyone will be fucking happy. And then fuck Daniel Bryan, then you can just bury him in the mid card. I don't want to see that, but at least you've given them the fucking payoff, okay? So, if they do that, WWE, congratulations. I'll be very happy with you, and then everyone will be thrilled. You'll look awesome. The WWE looks great. All the young stars, like Biggie Langston, Roman Reigns, Cesaro, fucking Daniel Bryan, they all look great. Everyone's happy, and the future looks bright for the WWE, and fucking would be awesome. So that's how you do it. That's how I would do it. And yeah, I hope you liked it. That's my opinion. Like and subscribe, motherfuckers. And yeah, that's the way I hope it goes. Peace out.